Welcome to Private Stories, where people discover who they really are. My name is Daniel Monroe and I am 33 years old. For most of my life, I have trusted things that produce clean answers. Numbers either reconcile or they do not. Queries return results or they fail. Dashboards glow green or red with no ambiguity. There is comfort in being able to point to a precise timestamp and say that was the moment everything shifted. Human beings do not work that way. People soften at the edges. They drift apart like continents moving too slowly to notice. At least that was what I believed until my girlfriend turned our relationship into something measurable in the worst possible way. We had been together 8 months when it finally collapsed. Closer to 10 if you count the weeks of late-night app messages and casual drinks that felt easy and temporary. Her name was Lauren Price, and the internet was less a tool to her and more a permanent residence. We matched on a rainy Thursday evening. Her profile looked professionally assembled. Studio lighting, perfect angles, yoga poses on rooftops at sunset, carefully worded captions that pretended to be spontaneous. Mine had 2 photos, one at a baseball game with my brother. One blurry picture of a mountain trail. I almost swiped left. She looked expensive. Not financially, visually. Too polished for my fluorescent office life and coffee-stained hoodies. But her opening message was not flirtatious or rehearsed. You said you love Italian food. What is your go-to order? This determines everything. I laughed out loud in my quiet apartment. Typed back. Chicken parm with extra basil. Garlic bread. No olives ever. Approved, she wrote. From there, the conversation unfolded with ridiculous ease. Quick jokes. Late-night confessions. Voice notes that made ordinary evenings feel cinematic. Within a week, we met in person. She was warmer than her photos suggested. Less intimidating. More alive. Her hair was a soft honey blonde that caught the light like spun glass. Her eyes were green with flecks of gold. She wore an oversized denim jacket and white sneakers that somehow looked intentional rather than lazy. We talked for hours about music and terrible reality television and the strange loneliness of adulthood. She listened when I described my work in data analytics, even though spreadsheets are not exactly thrilling dinner conversation. I learned about her online presence early on. I do lifestyle content, she said one night with a small embarrassed shrug. Fitness routines. Brand partnerships. Travel. It is kind of silly, but it pays surprisingly well. Later curiosity got the better of me. 20,000 followers. Professional photos. Endless comments from strangers calling her stunning and asking about her skincare routine. It felt like peering into a boutique window displaying a life I could not afford. I am basically a walking Pinterest board, she joked once while scrolling her own feed. Do not worry, you are not signing up to appear in my videos. At first I was relieved. I dislike cameras. I am the person who volunteers to take the group photo and then forgets to send it. We settled into something that felt stable. Takeout dinners. Movie marathons. Lazy Sunday mornings with burnt coffee and tangled sheets. Lauren stayed at my apartment often enough that her things slowly colonized my space. Hair ties on the nightstand. A lavender-scented shampoo bottle in my shower. A pair of white running shoes by the door. The first time I tried to take a picture of us together, we had been dating around 5 months. We were at brunch in one of those airy places filled with plants and filtered sunlight. I felt warm and content and slightly tipsy from mimosas. Lauren was telling a story about a brand manager who had offered her free products instead of payment. I remember thinking, I want to remember this exact moment. So I pulled out my phone and leaned closer. Smile. She reacted instantly, faster than seemed natural. Her hand lifted and blocked the camera lens. Whoa, hold on. What are you doing? Taking a picture, I said. Of us, like people do. Her jaw tightened as if she were calculating something invisible. Are you going to post it? Maybe. Could you just send it to me instead? I will upload it if it fits my page. The lighting is weird from this side. I laughed because the alternative would have been awkward. Sure. I took the photo anyway. It was actually great. Golden sunlight, soft shadows, both of us smiling genuinely. I texted it to her. She never posted it. I told myself it was meaningless. Not everything belongs online. Maybe she truly wanted to keep our relationship private. Except the pattern continued. At concerts, when I suggested a photo, she would kiss my cheek and say, "Let us just enjoy the moment." At a friend's birthday party, she suddenly decided her hair looked terrible. If I did capture a picture, she would ask me to send it first so she could see if it aligned with her aesthetic. Her aesthetic. Meanwhile, her social media was saturated with her life. Lauren at the gym. Lauren blending neon green smoothies. Lauren laughing with friends on rooftop bars. Lauren tagging hotels and clothing brands. Not once was I visible. Not even as a blurred figure in the background. I tried to be relaxed about it. The easygoing boyfriend who does not make demands. But invisibility has weight. Eventually you start to feel the empty outline where you should exist. A few weeks ago I asked her directly. We were stretched across her couch. My arm around her waist. Some mindless sitcom flickering in the background. Her phone lit up every few minutes. Likes, comments, messages. "Hey," I said without looking away from the television. "Why do you never post us together?" She paused barely half a second. "I keep my relationships private. Social media is not real life." I turned my head. "But you post everything else. Your workouts, your meals, your friends. Just not me." "That is different," she said quickly. "Those things are content. My relationship is personal. So I am more personal than your breakfast." My tone was light, but it carried an edge. She sighed. "Why does this bother you so much? Are you insecure?" There it was. The quiet implication that the problem was my sensitivity. I let the subject drop out loud. Inside, something began recording data. 5 nights ago, the data became evidence. We were at her apartment, half watching a reality show while she scrolled endlessly. Eventually, she set her phone down and said, "I need to talk to you." My chest tightened. "Okay. I do not want you posting photos of us. And I will not post any either." I sat up. "What?" She rubbed her temples as if exhausted. "I have spent years building my platform. My followers expect a certain lifestyle. If I post relationship content, it has to match that image." Something cold slid down my spine. "And I do not match that image." "It is not personal," she said quickly. "You just are not really my demographic. You do not have much of a social media presence. Your job is not visually interesting. People might not understand why I am with you. Could hurt my brand." I stared at her. "So I am good enough to date. Just not good enough to be seen." "You are twisting what I said." "No," I said quietly. "I am understanding it perfectly." She relaxed when I added, "Fine, I will not post anything. You do not have to worry. That is why I like you," she said, smiling. "You are reasonable." She kissed my forehead. I smiled back. But something inside me shifted from confusion to calculation. Not anger yet. Just the awareness of a hidden variable corrupting the equation. The next morning she was in the shower when I woke. Her phone lay on the nightstand glowing with notifications. No passcode. She trusted me. Or she assumed I would never check. I lay there listening to the water and my own pulse. Then I reached for the phone. Instagram was already open. Her messages formed a dense scroll of usernames. Brands. Friends. Blue check marks. And buried among them, the one that made my hands go numb. Ethan Keller Fit. I knew the name. Anyone even remotely aware of fitness influencers did. 40,000 followers. Professional abs. Perfect lighting. Exactly the kind of man who would compliment her image. I opened the thread. 4 months of conversation. At first it looked harmless. reacting to stories, sharing workout advice. Then the tone changed. Fire emojis, flirtation. We should collaborate sometime. Him saying I am single and looking for something real with someone who understands this lifestyle. Her reply, same here. My vision narrowed. There were other men too. Smaller accounts. Local photographers. The pattern identical. She was curating alternatives. Men she would not be embarrassed to display. I took screenshots of everything. Each page. Each message. Every casual betrayal. Sent them to myself. Deleted the evidence from her phone. Placed it back exactly where it had been. When she emerged from the shower wrapped in a white towel, I was in the kitchen making coffee. What are you doing today? She asked, kissing my shoulder. Work, I said. Nothing exciting. Text me later. Maybe dinner. Sure. After leaving her apartment, I did not go to the office. I stopped at a quiet cafe and sat staring at my laptop while the screenshots burned on my phone screen. I could confront her. She would accuse me of invading her privacy. Claim it was networking. Twist reality until I apologized. Or I could do something else. I searched for Ethan's profile. Sunlit photos. Sharp jawline. Confidence engineered for the camera. My thumb hovered over the message button for a long time. Then I began typing. Hey, this may sound strange, but I am Lauren Price's boyfriend. I have noticed you two have been talking a lot. She mentions you sometimes. You seem like a good guy, so I wanted to introduce myself. I stared at the words. Once sent, there would be no retrieving them. Above the chat, his latest story played. A video of him laughing in a gym. Captioned, manifesting genuine connections. Genuine connections, I murmured. And pressed send. The message delivered instantly. Seen. 3 dots appeared. Vanished. Returned. My coffee cooled untouched. Finally a reply arrived. Wait, boyfriend. My stomach clenched. Yes, I typed. We have been together 8 months. She stays at my place often. I have seen your messages. I figured if you did not know, you probably should. Long silence. Cafe noise sharpened around me. Milk steaming. Chairs scraping. Distant laughter. Then, she told me she was single. Seeing the words typed by someone else made everything solid. I am sorry, he added. I had no idea. For a moment I almost minimized it. Told him it was fine. Instead I asked, what exactly has she been telling you? 3 dots flickered like a pulse monitor. Then, I will just show you. Screenshots arrived. Her messages mirrored the ones I had seen, but now framed by his interface. Her telling him he looked incredible in a story. Suggesting they meet for a workout shoot and drinks afterward. Saying she was single and hoping to find something meaningful. There was no ambiguity. Thank you for being honest, I typed. Of course, he replied. I feel awful. She seemed genuine. I stared at the conversation. Lauren's voice echoed in my head. You do not fit my brand. I could already imagine confronting her privately. Deflection. Minimization. Blame. What are you going to do? He asked. I did not know. But something inside me had hardened into clarity. I just needed to confirm I was not losing my mind. You are not, he wrote. If there is anything I can do, tell me. I hate cheaters. And suddenly there it was. A crossroads. Tell Lauren and become the villain for checking her phone. Or let the one thing she valued most, her public image, judge her. Cruel. Strategic. Fair. So I typed slowly. This is a lot to ask and you do not have to agree. But would you be willing to share what happened publicly? Your audience overlaps with hers. People trust you. I feel like she has been using both of us. Me as a secret. You as an upgrade. My heart pounded while I waited. Daniel, he wrote, using my name from my profile. I usually avoid drama. Callouts can get ugly. I understand, I replied quickly. Truly. But she told me I was not good enough to be seen because I do not fit her image. Meanwhile, she is lying to you. I have no voice in her world. You do. Long pause. Then, you know what? No, she does not get to treat people like this and walk away clean. I will post the screenshots. I will tag her. I will mention she has a boyfriend. The room tilted slightly. Only if you are comfortable with it, he added. I typed. He responded. I will post tonight. It will blow up. Be ready. I thought of Lauren calmly explaining how I would damage her aesthetic. Yes, I wrote. I am ready. That evening, a little after 8, my phone buzzed against the kitchen counter. New story from Ethan Keller fit. I opened it before the notification even faded. Black background. White text. Story time. How a wellness influencer lied to me and her boyfriend at the same time. My pulse thudded in my ears. Next slide. Screenshots of their conversation. Her handle unmistakable. Her message, I am single, circled in red. Underneath he had written, this woman has had a boyfriend for 8 months. She told me she was single and looking for something real. I did not know. Now I do. I kept swiping. More screenshots. More proof. Every sentence that once felt abstract now sharp as glass. Final slide. A selfie of him. Expression flat with controlled anger. If you are going to cheat, do not drag other people into it. Lauren Price fit, you picked the wrong person to lie to. My stomach dropped. Within minutes, the story multiplied. Reposts. Commentary. Accounts I did not recognize dissecting every detail. Not surprised. Another fake influencer exposed. This is why I do not trust wellness culture. Compilation stories appeared showing her grid alongside the accusations. Just an hour earlier, her latest post, a glowing sunset yoga shot, caption, balance is everything, had been filled with praise. Now the comments changed. Is balance lying or cheating? Saw Ethan's story. Care to explain? Her follower count, which I had checked earlier out of grim curiosity, began dropping. 21K. 20.8K. 20.5K. Felt like watching a skyscraper sink floor by floor. Lauren was at a launch party that night. She had sent me a photo before leaving. A flat lay of her outfit arranged perfectly on the bed. Of course not her face. Back late she had texted, "Do not wait up." I did not respond. I sat on my couch in the dim glow of my phone watching her carefully engineered persona fracture in real time. Around 10 people started tagging her directly with clown emojis. A smaller creator posted a video overlaying her posts with captions about authenticity while playing circus music. By 11 I had lost track of how many times her name crossed my screen. It did not feel triumphant. Felt inevitable. Like a report I had known would produce catastrophic numbers finally finished processing. Around midnight I heard my door unlock. I placed my phone face down on the coffee table. Lauren entered, flushed from the cold night air and humming with leftover party energy. "Babe, you would not believe the turnout." Her phone chimed in her hand. Then again. Then continuously until it sounded like an alarm malfunction. She frowned. "What is happening?" I watched her expression transform. Confusion. Irritation. Then unmistakable fear. What the hell? She stopped in the center of the room, scrolling rapidly. Color drained from her face. "You have got to be kidding me." She looked up at me wide-eyed. "Daniel, did you see this?" I tilted my head. "See what?" She rushed over and thrust the phone toward me. Ethan's story frozen on the slide, exposing her message. "He posted our DMs," she said, voice tight. "Everyone thinks I cheated on you. My phone will not stop. Brands are texting. People are unfollowing." I studied the screen for a moment, then looked back at her. "That is unfortunate," I said softly. She stared as if I had slapped her. "That is all you have to say. What would you like me to say? That I am shocked you told another man you were single while sleeping in my apartment 4 nights a week. Because that would be dishonest." Her mouth opened. "Did you have something to do with this?" I raised an eyebrow. "I have never even met him. But you must have told someone." "I never mentioned you. I never said I had a boyfriend." How does he know? A humorless smile touched my lips. Interesting question, Lauren. Maybe the better question is why you were so certain he would never find out. Her phone chimed again. She flinched. For the first time since she told me I did not fit her image, the room felt balanced. Lauren began pacing. This is insane. People are tagging me. My manager says brands are reviewing contracts. Her voice cracked. My manager, Daniel. As if she were the injured party. What are you going to do? I asked. I have to explain. Say everything was taken out of context. Which part exactly? The part where you said you were single or the part where you wanted something real? She rubbed her face in frustration. This is not the time for sarcasm. I need damage control. Of course you do. I stood and walked to the kitchen. Poured a glass of water. You do not seem upset, she said quietly. I turned. Lauren, I have been upset for months. Tonight you are just finally seeing consequences. I did not cheat, she snapped. You told another man you were single. That was networking. Networking involves exchanging business contacts, Lauren. Not flirting about real connections. You were not networking. You were auditioning replacements. Her expression faltered. Please tell me you believe me. I held her gaze. I believe what I saw. She flinched. My phone buzzed behind me. I ignored it. Finally she broke. Fine. I made a mistake. But you are not perfect either. You went through my phone. I held up a finger. There it is. What? The pivot. Where you stop taking responsibility and start making me the villain. You violated my privacy. After you violated our relationship. Do not pretend to care about boundaries when you erased me from your life for 8 months. She collapsed onto the couch, burying her face in her hands. I am going to lose everything, she whispered. I sat opposite her. You are going to lose what you chose over us. You do not understand, she said hoarsely. I worked for years to build this platform. And you risked it for a few messages with someone who looked better beside you than I did. That is not my fault. You do not understand social media. Maybe not. But I understand relationships. She stared at me as if I were speaking a foreign language. Then suddenly, Daniel, listen. People are already questioning whether I even have a boyfriend. If you post one picture of us, it will prove he misunderstood. It will fix everything. There it was. The quiet part finally spoken. You hid me for months, I said slowly. You told me I would damage your brand. And now you want me to save it. Her face crumpled. You are being cruel. No. I leaned forward. I am matching your energy. Silence settled heavy between us. She looked at me like I was a stranger. Maybe I was. Maybe she had only known the version of me that was quiet, convenient, easy to keep off camera. So that is it, she asked. You are done. I did not answer. She looked down at her phone, still flooding with notifications. I have to fix this, she whispered. Good luck. I walked past her and folded the blanket on the couch. No shouting. No slammed doors. Quiet endings are the loudest. Behind me, she typed frantically. I went to the bedroom, grabbed an overnight bag, my charger, a toothbrush. Not everything. Just what still felt like mine. While I packed, I heard her on speakerphone. No, it was not like that. It was a misunderstanding. Can we frame it differently? Frame. Not truth. Optics. When I returned to the living room, she stared at the bag. Where are you going? Somewhere that does not smell like panic. Daniel, wait. Be reasonable. I was reasonable, I said softly. For 8 months. Do not leave tonight. You already left. I walked out without looking back. She stayed awake until nearly 3 in the morning, posting statements, deleting comments, resharing old inspirational quotes, and assembling apologies that sounded like they had been assembled by a corporate crisis team. Taken out of context. Misunderstanding. Growth journey. Respect my privacy. The internet was not impressed. Neither was I. When I returned to the apartment the next morning, she was gone. For a moment the silence felt surreal. like walking into a house after a storm where everything looks intact but the air smells wrong. Her sneakers were still by the door. A half-finished protein shake sat on the counter. Her ring light leaned sideways as if knocked over in a hurry. The apartment felt hollow. Artificial brightness drained away. She was not worried about losing me. She was worried about losing her audience. My phone buzzed. "Ethan, you okay, man? Last night was brutal." I typed back something vague. "Yeah, I am fine. We're close enough." He replied instantly. She posted 3 clarification stories. People are tearing them apart. Even big creators are making reaction videos. I did not open her profile yet. Instead, I walked to the bedroom and began packing the rest of my things. Jeans, hoodies, plain shirts that never matched her color-coordinated aesthetic. A few items she had given me as gifts, but that were actually brand samples she had planned to feature someday. I considered leaving them behind. Instead, I tossed them into a donation pile. While I packed, the door opened. Lauren stepped inside. She looked wrecked. Hair tangled. Mascara smudged beneath her eyes. Skin pale with exhaustion. "Daniel," she said hoarsely. I kept folding clothes. I did not sleep," she murmured. "I know. Everyone thinks I am a liar. A cheater. Are they wrong?" She flinched. "I did not cheat. Not physically. I zipped part of my suitcase. Emotionally. Digitally. Publicly. Choose whichever category feels most comfortable." "I did not think it mattered," she whispered. "I did not think I would matter," she corrected herself. "Not compared to your followers." She rubbed the back of her neck. "You could have talked to me before it exploded." A bitter laugh escaped me. "So you could spin it. Convince me I misunderstood screenshots. Turn it into a public relations issue instead of a relationship one." Her eyes flicked to the suitcase. "You are really leaving?" "Yes." "Please do not." Her voice cracked. "Daniel, do not walk out like this." I finally looked at her fully. "You kept me invisible for 8 months. The one time you needed me publicly, it was not to love me. It was to rescue your image." "That is not true." "It is. We can fix this," she said quickly. "Explain everything. Say we were working through issues privately. Post something together. You are still trying to script me. I am trying to fix my life. Then fix it. But do not use me as a prop." Silence fell thick as velvet. She took a shaky step closer. "Daniel, I love." "Do not." The word came out sharper than intended. "Not today." She closed her eyes as if physically struck. "I am sorry," she whispered, "for being selfish, for being stupid, for being scared of losing what I built. You do not know what it is like to have thousands of people watching you." "You are right," I said quietly. "I do not know that. But I know what it is like to sit next to someone who cares more about those strangers than the person beside them." Her voice trembled. "Can you stay one more day? We can talk when we are calmer. If I stay, I will let you explain until the edges blur. That is my weakness, not yours. I forgive too easily when apologies sound pretty." She wiped at her face angrily. "I do not want to lose you. You already did." The words landed like dropped glass. She stepped back as if absorbing a physical blow. "Can I at least carry your bag?" "No," I said gently. "I have it." I closed the suitcase and walked toward the door. She followed slowly. "What am I supposed to do now?" "Tell the truth." I opened the door and left. For the rest of the day, I stayed with a friend. No social media. No messages. Just quiet. That night, curiosity finally won. I opened her profile. It was chaos. Fake authenticity. Manipulator. Why lie about being single? Her follower count had dropped by nearly 2,000. Her pinned comment, "authenticity above all," was now followed by rows of clown emojis. I scrolled until I reached her newest post. A photo of sunrise from her balcony. Caption: "Some days all you can do is breathe and hope people understand your side." The comments were merciless. "We understand perfectly. You lied. Stop playing victim." Tell the truth. I did not like the post, did not comment, did not message her. I simply closed the app and sat in the dim light listening to my heartbeat slow into something resembling peace. The next morning I moved into a small studio apartment. High windows, bare walls, no ring light, no staged corners, just space. For the first time in months it felt enough. A week passed before Lauren tried contacting me again. By then the apartment no longer felt temporary. I had bought a cheap rug, a warm lamp, and a plant I would probably forget to water. Life felt unfiltered, quiet, real. My phone lit up while I brewed coffee. Her number, I let it ring, again, and again. Finally I silenced it. She switched to text. Daniel, please talk to me. I need to explain. I deleted the notification. Another message. I did not think those messages meant anything. I was stupid. Please. Then. Brands are dropping me. My manager wants me offline. People will not stop attacking me. Please just talk to me. I placed the phone face down. She was not seeking closure. She was looking for a lifeline. 2 days later, I met my friend Marcus at a cafe. He had followed the entire situation with equal parts outrage and fascination. You want to see something? He asked midway through his espresso. Do I? He rotated his phone. Lauren's newest post. A black square. White text. I am stepping back from content creation to reflect and take accountability. I snorted. Stepping back. More like pushed off a cliff. Marcus grinned. Read the caption. I scanned it. I hurt people I care about. I lost sight of who I am. I need time to rebuild trust. The comments were brutal. Accountability without specifics means nothing. You only admitted you had a boyfriend after he left. This is PR, not growth. Likes dramatically lower than her usual posts. Damage control, Marcus said. Her entire personality. I stirred my coffee watching the liquid spiral. I kept trying to fit into her world. I thought eventually she would make space for me. He shook his head. She did not want a partner. She wanted an accessory. The truth settled heavy but clean. A week later, Ethan messaged again. Just checking on you. I am good, I replied. Calmer than I expected. Same here, he said. Internet already moved on. But her reputation is permanently stained. No big creators want to collaborate now. He paused before sending another message. For what it is worth, you deserved better than being hidden. Do not let anyone convince you that you are not brand worthy. I stared at the screen. I know that now, I typed. And I meant it. 6 weeks later, I walked home on a cool evening, mist softening the streetlights. My new life was not impressive. Not curated. Not optimized. But it was mine. At home, I tossed my keys on the counter and without intending to open Instagram. I searched her name. Lauren Price Fit. Followers down to 12,000. Her grid looked different. No glossy gym photos. No brand tags. No staged breakfasts. Just old posts from a life that now felt brittle. The top post remained the apology. Everything below it looked like porcelain that had been cracked but not shattered. I opened tagged photos. Memes. Parodies. Clips from reaction videos. Her image, the one she had protected so fiercely, was now permanently altered. She had feared I would ruin it. She had done that herself. All because she did not want anyone to see me. I closed the app. The apartment felt lighter. That night, wrapped in a blanket beside a cheap candle, I opened an old folder of photos on my laptop. Most were imperfect. Blurry. Poor lighting. Wrinkled clothes. Hair out of place. Real. In one picture, I was laughing so hard my eyes were shut and my dark hair fell across my face. Lauren would have hated it. I smiled. I am dating again now. Slowly. Carefully. Paying attention to warning signs. If someone needs to hide you. If they rank you by followers. If they treat you like an image instead of a person. That is not love. Love is visible. Shared. Unashamed. Anyone who thinks you are beneath them is not on your level at all. 3 months later, my life had settled into a rhythm that felt almost peaceful. Work, gym, dinner with friends, quiet evenings reading instead of doom scrolling. One night Marcus dragged me to a small rooftop gathering downtown. No influencers, no ring lights, just music and cheap drinks and people talking too loudly. That is where I met Chloe. Dark auburn hair pulled into a loose ponytail. Clear gray eyes. Paint on her hands from a studio session she had come from directly. She laughed easily. Listened fully. Never once checked her phone while I spoke. At some point someone suggested a group photo. Chloe slipped her arm through mine. Ready, she said, smiling. No hesitation. No calculation. Just presence. Later she asked if I wanted her to send it. Sure. She did not ask for approval. Did not edit. Did not curate. She posted it exactly as it was. Caption. Good night with good people. And there I was. Front and center. Not aesthetic. Not filtered. Just included. Seeing it felt strangely emotional. Not because it was public. Because it was effortless. That is when I realized the real damage Lauren had done was not public humiliation. It was making normal affection feel rare. Chloe noticed my expression. Everything okay? Yeah, I said softly. Actually, it is. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Visit our channel for interesting and intriguing stories.